I found an abandoned town in Montana.
I don't think I ever left.
I don't even know if I should be posting this. I've been reading here for years, always telling myself the stories were just that, stories. But last weekend, I drove into a place that wasn't supposed to be there, and I don't think I ever really left. If anyone else has heard of Duskfield, please tell me. I've always been drawn to ruins, forgotten neighborhoods, rusted train depots, churches half swallowed by woods. Some people collect postcards. I collect places. That's how I found Duskfield. It started on a back road outside Helena, Montana. I'd been driving north when I noticed a dirt turnoff. A wooden sign stood at the mouth of it, leaning at an angle, letters almost erased by decades of rain and rot. Duskfield, 3 miles. The name meant nothing to me. I'd never seen it on a map, but the road was clear enough, so I followed it. The first building I saw was a gas station. The roof had caved in, and the pumps were stripped bare, like someone had torn their guts out. Through a broken window, I spotted a calendar still hanging behind the counter. May 1972. Past the station lay the town. 6 narrow streets. Faded storefronts. Houses with collapsed roofs and porches sagging like broken jaws. A row of telephone poles leaned into the street, wires long since torn down. It was silent. Not just empty. Silent. No birds. No wind. Not even the sound of my own car engine seemed to carry, right. I parked beside a diner with a sun-bleached sign that read Hendry's. One of the letters dangled on a screw, creaking whenever the breeze touched it. I grabbed my camera and stepped inside. The air was thick, sour with mold and rust. Booths were coated in dust. A menu board behind the counter still listed burgers for 45 cents. And on the floor were footprints. Dozens of them. Not fresh, but not faded either. Bare feet. Small but wide. They circled the booths. The counter. The door. All of them stopped beneath the window I had just climbed through, like they'd been waiting there. The next building was a hardware store. Tools rusted into place on their hooks. The register still held brittle green bills. But in the back room, every mirror was missing. Not broken. Removed. Empty frames leaned against the wall, while the glass itself had been stacked in a neat circle on the floor, wide enough for someone to stand in. That was when I noticed something outside. A wooden board nailed to a post in the middle of the street. I swear to God it hadn't been there before. Black paint, letters dripping. Stop taking pictures. The camera in my hand suddenly felt heavier. I hadn't told anyone I was coming here. No one even knew I'd found this place. So who wrote that sign? Who was watching? I shoved the camera into my pack and started back toward the car. Only the road was gone. Not blocked. Not overgrown. Gone. In its place was another row of houses. Same peeling paint. Same porches, sagging into the dirt. I spun around. The diner wasn't there anymore either. Instead, another gas station. Same as before. Calendar still set to May 1972. The pages fluttered once, though the air was still. I ran. Street after street, corner after corner. The layout shifted beneath me. Buildings repeated themselves, slightly wrong each time. Stores mirrored at angles they shouldn't exist. The signs changed too. Don't look back. Keep walking. Stay until we're done. Each one painted in the same dripping black strokes. I started to notice other things. Curtains pulled back an inch too far. Shapes pressed against upstairs windows. A rocking chair swaying on a porch with no wind to move it. None of it made sound. Not even my own footsteps. I don't know how long I walked. My watch ticked forward, then back. My phone battery jumped from 60% to dead to full again in seconds. Finally, I stumbled into a wide square. At the center was a well, and beside it, a photograph. Old. Black and white. The paper soft with age. 8 people stood in front of Hendry's diner. All of them smiling. All of them wearing my face. I dropped it. My hands shook as I picked it up again and flipped it over. Scrawled in pencil. We told you not to leave. The sky above me darkened, though I hadn't seen the sun move. One by one, the streetlights flickered on. They hummed faintly, even though the power lines leading into town had long since rotted away. And then I noticed something else. Inside the glass of every streetlight, pressed against it from within, were faces.
Hundreds of them.
Eyes too wide. Mouths open in silent screams. Each one staring down at me. And when the first one blinked, I realized every single one had my eyes. I dropped the photograph. But before it hit the ground, there was another in my hand.
Crisp. New.
Color this time. Me, standing in the square. Holding a photograph. Looking up at the lights. That's where I blacked out. When I woke up, I was sitting in my car on the highway shoulder, engine still running, Duskfield nowhere in sight. But in the passenger seat was the photograph. The color one. The timestamp on my phone hasn't moved since I picked it up. It still says 3:08 p.m. And every time I close my eyes, I see the lights turning on again, one by one. If anyone else has been to Duskfield, please tell me. Because I don't think it wants me to leave.